welcome. Liverpool 12th Man Show is back in full effect. It's halftime of the Chelsea Arsenal game, and it is a final of the Senegal Egypt game. Looks like we will be getting Mohamed Salah back sooner than expected, as his Egyptian team have been bounced by the Senegalese. So it is definitely a lot of stuff going on today. It's kind of crazy because you got the international football, you got cup football, you had FA Cup football earlier this week. It is going to be a wild ride, but this episode that I have lined up for you guys is a fun one, I thought. We're going to get into a lot of different topics. I tried to make it where we would center on or focus our central attention to, positions on our team. So we'll bring up news, we'll bring up some rumors, and also I have a fun little segment at the end that I just made up that I'm hopefully that you'll enjoy as well. We have Scouse Lee in the house with us. Lee, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good. Looking forward to this. I want to find out what score this semi ends. That's got a little bit of interest in it for me. It'd be quite funny if Arsenal go through, if all that quad shit starts up about them.
You know what? Shoot, Norman Bonkers. I gotta make you guys like mods so that you can put your links in, Norm. I see you have a small video.
I'll look that up, Norm. Yeah, I'll look that up so I can see you singing.
Yeah, Norm. I saw you bald nugget.
Yeah, it's a good. Big up evening to you, Eric. Good, hope that you're well. Big up to
Eric.
Alexander. Yeah.
Big up Alexandra. Big up Norm. Big up everyone.
Yeah, Liverpool won a game, Alexander. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but we did win a game, and we've put together some results as of late. But we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. Have some fun at the end of the episode as well. But we're going to break down some team news, like I said, some transfer news, especially contract situations. We're going to do it properly by position, like I said, with context, and try to limit the nonsense that you might hear on other channels. So it already feels like January could be one of those windows where oh wait, I didn't bring in Lante, by the way. Lante, how are you? Sorry.
No, good talk.
No, you know why? Because you're on, and then you dropped out. And then I just saw that you're back on there. That's all. My fault. So it wasn't intentional.
That's okay.
How are you doing?
Yeah, all good. All good yourself. Like I said, from the chat, watching these football games. I watched both semi-finals of the AFCON. I won't elaborate because I'm sure you're going to mention it, so I won't elaborate on it.
Mm-hmm. Would you prefer Morocco or Nigeria to win the other semi? To
be honest,
Morocco because of the rival. There's a bit of a rivalry going in Nigeria.
Yeah. That was a good game. Yeah. The Senegal-Egypt game was not great, if I'm honest. I mean, Egypt were very defensive, a bit, as bad as us, but worse. So Salah didn't really have, and Senegal really didn't do much either, but they had more attacking intent. And again, Sadio Mane again. I mean, it's getting to the point where Salah might hate Mane now.
Twice now, isn't it? Twice.
Yeah.
Oh, three times. Yeah, I mean. Well, yeah, plus the World Cup qualifiers when they had to play for the place in the World Cup. So, and I think this is, I think this is Salah's chance is gone. I mean, they weren't favourites anyway, if I'm honest. But I think that's his time. He's gone. He ain't gonna win it.
No, from
So
my
you don't think he's got another 2 years in him?
So,
He has 12, but Egypt. No, it's all right, Lee. All good. No, he has, but Egypt are just not good enough. They ain't got a good enough team.
Wow. Okay. What were you about to say, Lee?
no, they do tend to be very defensive, the North African teams, don't they? Like, it's not to say that they're not skillful. Zinedine Zidane was the embodiment of skill, but that's just one player. I mean, their tactics usually tend to be more negative than the sub-Saharan African teams, who like to be a little bit more expansive, don't they, with their game? I would say. That says someone who doesn't watch it that much, but I've seen North African teams so many times, and there is a difference.
They need us because Egypt needs to hire back some U.S. ingenuity. I'm totally just joking. They used to. Bradley used to be the coach.
Yeah, Bradley. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was actually a coach. Yeah, he was
got him to the
coaching.
World Cup, by the way. Got him to the World Cup. South Africa.
Yeah.
I think he was the coach for them going into South African World Cup.
Yeah, 2010. Yeah. Good shout. Good shout. Good looking out, Phil.
Yeah, I gotta represent.
Yeah.
Shout out to Goal Ratio. Shout out to Dustin, the legend. Shout out to Trudon, Norm, Eric, Bonkers, everyone that's joining us. I don't know if I'm sure supporters here yet or not, but big up to everyone joining us. Already got a nice little audience joining us to hear what we got to say, because look, Arne Slot's been trying to stabilize this team, and it hasn't been going according to plan, let's be honest. The reigning champions, and let's just continue to say that as often and as often as we can, while we still can say it. We sit fourth in the table. We're 14 points behind Arsenal. We've had a very inconsistent campaign so far, but the performance have fluctuated. I think the squad balance has been tested. And off the pitch, well, the rumor mill is doing what it always does, and that's spinning aggressively. So far, the only arrival is Salah and Ndia, right? Ndia?
Yeah, the Senegal waste of a signing, but yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, let's be real. He's
not like Youth Academy signings at all.
It's not that I don't like them 12, but let's be real. He's there just to make the numbers. He ain't going to be at Liverpool in 2 years' time. No, how many? Be honest, 12. And let me ask the chat: how many highly rated defenders have we said? Seth Vanderberg, Jake Hoover, etc. They're gonna and they don't. I mean, it's just a waste of a signing.
We have signed so many young centre.
Yeah, you know it, Lee. Isn't it, Lee?
Next big thing, but turned out Thiago Ilori was the one for me.
Oh yes, remember him, Lee.
Yes, in the same day as Sacco, and he did interviews on LFC TV about how good he was, and like, he was sure of himself, and I swallowed it. I was like, he's going to be bloody good, him. He's just terrible. I think he only played one game. Wasn't even good enough to get in a really awful Liverpool team.
Well, Brendan, I mean, it's training or what? Again, we don't know. This is the thing. We want to know. I would love to know what goes on training, but I've got something to say about the academy, but I'll leave that to the end because 12 it's got nothing to run.
No, I mean, if you want to break the bread now, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Kick in the door. Right. Do your Hawaiian punch, like go right through the wall.
All right. Okay, we're gonna break bread now. Okay, I thought we're gonna break bread later, but all right. You give me my money now, no problem.
Yeah, go ahead, do it.
Listen, look, it's just when you mention the signing 12, and with the Austrian and stuff like that, and it's it's like propaganda. It's like how can I say? I'm just trying to think example. It's Trump, well, I know he's the president, obviously. It's Trump when he finishes trying to campaign for another election. Again, it's just false promises of what he does, all the talk. He's like a politician. All the false talk. I mean, none of these players, and again, if I'm wrong, then I'll apologize. I'll come on camera. I'll send a little to Liverpool Football Club with my name saying I apologize for my slanderous comments. but none of them are gonna be first teams. Let's face it. In 2 years' time, and people can say highly rated Senegal, they're not gonna be. They're just not.
Can I ask you this then?
Mm.
Do you believe in wonder kids? Do you believe investing in wonder kids?
I do, only if they're gonna get the chance.
Okay. And you don't believe? I mean, look, I will admit that the ease of the pathway towards wonder kids, I see you, wonder kids going from, prospect to actual starter isn't exactly a easy path, but there have been cases where that has happened. And there have been, I know when we originally, I don't think we're going for the player that we were just recently linked with, for instance, a wonder kid from Santos in Brazil. I believe he's going to be signing with Chelsea now, or Chelsea or Spurs or something. He's signing with someone else.
The left back. Yeah. Spurs. Yeah, Spurs are close to him. Yeah,
and I was excited about it because I get that he's not going to be implemented right into the team. But if there's cases where like right now, this game that's going on, Esteval, right? He's a wonder kid. And to think, I know he went straight into the team. We didn't even go into the youth academy. But it is exciting to see players like that possibly get introductions or at least maybe make the adaptation to what is going to be expected of them for a Liverpool team. Because I don't want to necessarily reprogram the kids when they come in to lose the flair or lose the things that make them special. But they do have to understand what makes Liverpool as well. I think we've lost some of our identity as of late. But I like one. I like that. If you're to look at my team, for instance, with the I play Football Manager, right? I'm on the 2026, right? If you're to look at my 2026 Football Manager team, I've brought in about 3-4 different wonder kids, just because I'm just always trying to I want to have balance on a team. I want to have 4 or 5 different 28 to 30-year-old, 30 plus year old veterans that I want to have that, 23 to 28, blossoming super talent, world-class type super talent.
Yeah.
And then I want to have the young group that is going to eventually, just slot right in.
The young players have to be really, really talented now to break through. It's become harder over the years.
Agreed.
Years ago, didn't have as many foreign players coming in, and making up squads, and so it was easier for young players to get through and get to a higher level. Now they're at a lower level, them guys, a lot of them. So it is dead hard for a young player. They've got to be really, really good. But yeah, get as many as you can and see what you come up with. It's always worth a gamble. It's no harm in trying, is there, on young players? See what you get. But, the majority of the time, 9 times out of 10, they move on, don't they?
Yeah, no, I get that. I get it. Who was it? He didn't really play for us as a wonder kid, but he was a wonder kid at one point. Carvalho.
Well, we got Bradley Jones. We had Callagher as well, was an academy thingy. So we've done all right still in recent years. But,
that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I look at it. I get you. I get it. We're going to have to call Nolante Trick Daddy because he doesn't love the kids, apparently. That's a hip hop reference, I guess. You can look it up.
Exactly.
Trick Daddy has a song
for the chat.
He has one of his big hits is about the youth and about uplifting the youth, and it's a positive song. But anyway, It's
that's
all
how
good. The best young player Norm has ever seen was Ian Frodsham. Unfortunately, he passed away very young. That's horrible to hear. Jed, did you want to say anything else about the Youth Academy? I have one little segment at the very, very end, but it's only like a brief blurb about a player that we brought that we're supposed to be bringing in. So, anything? See, Trudon knows Trudon knows it.
Indeed,
It's a good song. It's a good song. He's got the kids sing the chorus in the background. It's a fun song. You should check it out. But anyway, what anything else you wanted to say, Nolante, about the youth or the youth movement for our club?
Yeah, I mean, just at the moment, because of the way Slot's doing things, and I was speaking to, like obviously Brian about this, and it's like, oh, look, if they're good enough, they're old enough, they're good enough, they'll get in. Yes and no. Yeah, yes, yes and no to that. Yes, maybe some, but no, because some you don't know if someone doesn't get the games and they're going to another club, then how can we say they're good enough? And Slot, for whatever reason, has, like I said, he sold a lot of the academy players, and even now and I get he doesn't know, and I bless you, and I get he doesn't know Calvin Ramsey probably that much, but like honestly, dude, like. Right, he's a right back. It's just coming. I'm like, I don't want to see Sobel right back. I mean, from what Ramsey, when he played against Palace, I know we got battered. Bless you. And that's all right. I know we got walked off the park. But he's not one of the few players that was decent. So can just stop complicating. Just like, we're going to play Sobel or Sobel Curtis Jones right back. And dude, look, if Frimpong Con doesn't have to rest him, don't play Joey there. Although he didn't have a good game at centre back, but it happened. It's his first game back. He didn't cover himself that in glory, but just play. Yeah, go on.
No. Finish statement. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, just play Ramsey, and this is the thing all clubs need, and it's not about playing 11 players, and they need connection from the academy to the first team. There needs to be a balance. That's how all teams.
I understand that I'm in full agreement with. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I'm agreeing with that. I will say it from this perspective as well, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you are someone that's not really big on trying to develop youth academy talent into players that are going to start and star for your team, or maybe even feature in your team, okay? Let's just say that. You can make an argument that still taking doing something like, with some of the players like Kwanzaa and others, like we've gotten them very early in their careers. But if you're to take an opportunity to, how much we pay, I forget what we paid for Elliott or whatever we paid for Carvalho again.
10 mil. Okay. 8 mil.
Okay. So like you look at it that way and you're like, okay, well then if we are to take this player, you can look at youth academy players as being possible additions that you can make. I don't want to make this too harsh, but you can make money off of. And thus, if you fall in love with the talent, sure, keep the player. Utilize the player. If the player is too good to let go, keep them. But how many players from that Klopp era were we playing in our squad simply because we had to from injuries, but all the same, because they got the experience, because they got the press and they got, the publicity and everything else, we were able to sell them probably for a lot more than what they were probably would have gone for if they never got those opportunities. We made quite a bit of money off of them. And I'm not saying that's the only thing to do with Young Academy. Obviously, I'm all about develop them into players that eventually you can utilize. But if you take a player like that, you could possibly, with a Bradley deal, with a Clark deal, or something like that. Making these deals to these other teams, getting a good chunk of change off of players.
Yeah.
And then being able to stack that money and say, okay, cool, we sold, two or three different youth academy players. Now we can take that money and we can go for a 60-pound or a 70-pound player, that is going to be featured in our team.
Yeah, these recent years, like, we've done really well selling young players, and we've got some terrific sums of money in. Like, we got 25 for Doe. We got, what did we get for Dom Solanke all them years ago? And then we got 10 million on top of that when we moved to Spurs. We got the money from McConnell, didn't we? We sold Van den Berg for about 30 million. We got about 25 for Carvalho, didn't we? We have done good business, because years ago, sometimes we'd let younger players go too cheap. You know what I mean? We'd let them go too cheap once it was like a thing that they weren't going to be in the first team, like. But we've done great in recent years in that regard, like, and you have got to look to that side of it, haven't you? To stack all the money up so you can afford to buy other players. But obviously, the ones who are good enough get to stay, don't they?
Right. That's how I look at it. I mean, like, I agree with 100% of what you're saying. I want to see a pathway towards playing in the first team. Look, this current coach has a different philosophy, I think, when it comes to including these players into the team, because, like, with Jurgen Klopp, how much we saw a lot of Bajcetic, for instance. We saw obviously when he made a pathway for Trent Alexander-Arnold to eventually become featured in our team, like as in Jones. This is Norm is pointing out Jones, another player in the Klopp era that was fast tracked into not being given up on. Someone that I do have a segment, or do have a little blurb to talk about him as well and later on. But yeah, it's interesting. I know that Norm and some others, and I don't know if the panel were on the same path as, or say wavelength as, like Norm and some of the other guys and gals that are part of the chat, that didn't believe in that whole story about, like, Hughes and the bust up between Hughes and apparently Slot, and how their philosophy on playing Rio was different, apparently. Do you remember that story being publicized?
Yeah, I remember. Big up Cedric in the chat. Big up Cedric.
Big up Cedric, of course. And that's where it's like a difference. That's where, like, I can understand people saying, "Oh, that's not a true story," or "Oh, I don't believe that," and everything else. And I'm not trying to debate that, but it is. If you do look at the proof in the pudding, I don't like this coach doesn't necessarily look like he is all on board in trying to say, "Oh, well, we have a, again, the young lad for Chelsea right now, he's starting in games, and some important games for them. Seeing, there's some people that might. I'm not saying that Rio is Lamau, but, like, some people might rate him as highly as that, being like, well, why does he get playing time like that on a team like Barcelona, and we can't see Rio get some playing time? I'm not advocating for either. I'm just saying that it's an interesting conversation, I believe. Interesting.
I feel quite positive about the upcoming round of fixtures. Like, there's a lot of games we can win there if we can just get a little bit extra out of the players. Like, I think there's a row of games that we can win here. Like, and hopefully we do, starting with Burnley. But I do feel quite positive about it. Like, I think we will start playing better. He knows we've got to. You know what I mean? I mean, he knows he's under pressure, doesn't he? Like, and, he's got to get us playing better football soon.
Yeah, agreed. As was stated, Garnacho has made it 2-1 in that Chelsea Arsenal matchup during the 62nd minute so far.
A little bit of hope.
A little bit of hope. A little bit of hope. They definitely. It's still tough sledding for them because they.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I really hope. Sorry, Sky start coming up with the quad thing for Arsenal, like they like doing with us. Will Liverpool win the quad this season? I hope they start doing that with Arsenal if they reach the final tonight. Oh no, it's 2 legs, isn't it?
It's 2 legs, yeah.
If they reach the
but it's
final
gonna be
anyway.
still hard.
Yeah, if they reach the final and they're still in everything else, top of the league and that, like, you know what I mean? Annoy them by saying that. I hope the media focus on them this season, like.
I got you.
It should be struck from the books now, that word quad.
Should be. All right. Well, let's get into segment 1 here. We already I know if Arsenal win the quad, Trudon says he's retired from football. That's funny. Look, Liverpool have a very real, concrete issue at hand, and that real, concrete issue at hand is a contract problem with Ibu. The clock is no longer ticking quietly, people. It is definitely to the point where soon enough he'll be able to speak to other clubs.
The hour grows late, doesn't it, for him to sign a contract? The later it gets, the less likely he's going to stay. So it really is starting to look like he's on his bike now. If he's turned down contracts and there isn't another one incoming, then what other eventuality could there be? Then I'm leaving. Don't know where he'd go. Like Madrid have said they're not interested now, but I'm sure he'd have other offers.
Now, the deal expires at the end of next season, and according to The Athletic, there's been no breakthrough on a new contract. That means Konaté can already begin negotiating with foreign clubs on a pre-contract. He arrived in 2021, we all know, for about 35 million pounds, I believe it is. But the deal was made in 2020, but we got him in 2021. He became a key part because he stayed a year at his host club, RB Leipzig, but became a key part of a title-winning side. Obviously, we all know that, and now he's 26. Actually, he's right in his prime. Liverpool face a brutal possibility of losing him for nothing, as we did Trent Alexander-Arnold. Well, we got something for Trent Alexander-Arnold, but not nearly what his market rate was accurately attested to be. So now we have to ask, do we sell him for a discount or do we just let this go? And Real Madrid were once considered front runners, but they cooled due to concerns over his consistency this season. And ironically, this is an interesting one. I don't know if you guys knew, or I don't think we talked about this at least. Ironically, Rudiger's injury has now reopened their short-term need for a center half, right? But Spanish reports claim that Liverpool already offered Konaté to Madrid. Now that I didn't know that until I read this article. And apparently, we offered Konaté to Madrid for 20 million euros in January. And Madrid said no, preferring their preferences for like Marc Guehi or a Nico Schlotterbeck, which leaves Liverpool in dangerous middle ground. Obviously, we don't want to sell cheap. We don't want to lose it for free. We don't have a replacement secured. I'm going to ask the panel, and I'm going to ask you guys out there too. Is there now a failure of planning by Liverpool if we end up having to let a 35 million pound blossoming center half walk, or is it simply that's just the world we live in, and this is because elite football contracts, more players you're seeing leave on freeze. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, I'm at peace with it. Like, if we let him leave for nothing, like if that's the way it works out, because there's nothing we could have done about it other than improving the contract offers that we've done. We're just going to have to find somebody else. And yeah, that's the way it is sometimes. Like, I mean, I think we're financially strong enough at the moment anyway to absorb that the way we did with Trent, because we've had, as much as like we spent in the summer, we still brought in an awful lot as well. You know what I mean? We brought in more than half of what we spent. So we're in good financial shape, and I think we'd be okay to absorb that blow if it comes to that, which it's looking increasingly likely it will do.
If Madrid didn't bite at 20 million, and 20 million euros, by the way, not 20 million pounds, 20 million euros, should Liverpool be proactive and take a reduced fee from maybe someone else this month? Should we move on from Liverpool and try to
yeah, and put it towards buying Xhaka, replace a Frenchman with a Frenchman? See, you think about it from Ibu's perspective, and where's he going to go from Liverpool if it's not Madrid? That will be an upgrade, or at least on the same level. And there's only PSG, really. I mean, he could go to Bayern Munich or something, but where else is he going to go? Do you know what I mean? So it'd be a PSG thing, probably, because they do like to have as many French players as they can in.
I heard that. Is it true that I'm about to sneeze. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Is it true that Ibu is a Paris FC fan and not a PSG fan, and that's one of the hang-ups in him maybe even going to PSG? Have you heard that angle?
I haven't heard that. No, that's interesting, that, because it's a big city, isn't it? And the Saint Etienne as well, the original ones who reached the final in '76 against Bayern Munich, and then played us in the quarter-final the year we first won it in '77. They were a great team, Saint Etienne. I know that's a Paris suburb. It's a big city, isn't it? Like, so.
Yeah.
He's a Paris boy.
Do you know anything on that?
I heard he's a Parisian. He is a Paris boy. In terms of Paris FC, he's got affinity for both clubs, but I don't think it affects anything. If he wants to go to PSG, he'll go.
Oh, I see. I just looked up what it was. It says apparently Ibu grew up in Paris. Obviously, we all know that in his family. And his brothers were all big PSG fans, taking him to games. However, it would make it sense for him to support them. However, he actually started his youth career
at Paris FC. Paris connection of both. Yeah, it would
make most sense, wouldn't it? If that's where he went, it would probably make him happy, like, and he'd be able to get really good wage out of them. And he'd be able to play at a really top level. The only other place I could think of would be Munich, where he'd look at and think, "Oh yeah, do you know?" As from Liverpool, if he ain't going to Madrid, because he's not going to go to Italy, is he? There's nothing there for him. He ain't going to go to Barcelona, I don't think.
I don't know if that's feasible, Lee, because obviously they've got Jonathan Tah, he's a starter, nailed on, and they've got Upamecano signing a new contract. So I don't think he'll be a guaranteed automatic starter in Germany. Crazy enough. So
So Konate, would you rather Liverpool sell Konate now and reinvest, or keep him, risk losing him for free, and push for maybe, because we are thin at center half, so we'd have to if we maybe keep him, and maybe he is a decider in us being able to push on. 3-1, by the way. That's right.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Chelsea Chelsea, man, it's going to be a City Arsenal final. Yeah, I know there's 2 second legs, but yeah, it's going to be City Arsenal final.
Will Pep get his hand? Not Pep. Will Arteta get his hands on some silverware finally?
Yeah,
he did.
I don't know.
Didn't he?
Yeah. If it's the Carling Cup, you can have that as long as you don't win the league. I won't be too.
Mate, I remember they beat us in the League Cup final in 1987.
Oh yeah, what? Nicholas, isn't it? Charlie Nicholas.
Yeah, I was
Mm.
30, and my mate who was an Evertonian watching it, and we had like a litre of cider or some shit the first time we drank alcohol, and we watched
Oh
the
god.
87 League Cup final, and we got beat 2 Charlie Nicholas flukes, killed us after Rushy
Mm.
put in the lead.
I was 18 at the time. Glorious days at Wembley.
Glorious days.
No, I'm joking. I wasn't 18. Oh,
Yeah, I
but
was 13 for that final because it's like February or March or some shit in it, the League Cup final. But I remember it was in my mate who's an Evertonian, and he fell asleep on top of the telly after having some cider, which was weird. He sort of like draped over the top of the telly.
Wow. Fun times in Merseyside. There you go. There you go.
exactly. But to
All
answer
right.
your question, 12 about Iber Wivard sell, I'll keep him. You know what? I've checked out of Iber for a while anyway. Last season he was good. Don't get me wrong. Championship, I think he was good half the season, but I don't know. Maybe it's biased. Maybe I'm being harsh. He's a good defender, but I've checked out. But I think at this point, just right now, it doesn't look like we've got concrete. You can imagine this because this is the thing. We've got Konaté and you've got Joey, who probably be sold at the end of the season, and then Virgil's on 12 months. So technically, we need 3. But you can imagine Liverpool, the Austrian kid, the Senegalese they signed, and the Burnley one they signed. They'll be the new signings. Verge with some kids. Honestly, it's ridiculous. This is what he's got. It's ridiculous, Toph. It's ridiculous. But yeah, look. Regardless, I want him gone. I'm checked out. Just keep him. Just keep it to the end of the season. Gives us enough time with Guehi and just get other targets in because there'll be so many we can at least lock in by the summer. That's it really. I'd rather not because we just keep him to the end of the season and then let him go.
Sporting Lisbon's Diamande, the centre back. Who's his national side?
Ivory Coast.
Oh, is he? Yeah, Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Well, when you zoom out, because let's move forward. Let's move forward and talk about the attack because that's just as much uncertainty there as our back line with some of the, obviously injuries to Isak and possible exit of Chiesa. When you zoom out on this forward situation, what you really see is Liverpool caught between short-term needs and long-term planning. And it's happening at the exact moment when the club can least afford to do this, I think, because we're in the middle of the season and we need to really be hunkering in on building blocks as opposed to stoppage blocks or, stopgaps. And Federico Chiesa is a perfect case study in the tension on paper. He's a big name. He's got winger pedigree, obviously. In theory, he's the type of signing that gives you depth, unpredictability, and product. But in practice, 2 seasons in, he's just made 35 appearances under Slot. And this season, he struggled to make an imprint with the door having been left wide open with the bust up of Salah and like his exit to AFCON, with the fact that we've had Isak injured, there was even the point when Cody was sick or injured and not unavailable, and we still did not see Chiesa on a regular basis. It's troubling to me, at least, because I think there's a player there. There's a player that really exemplifies Liverpool football, to be honest with you, in my opinion. You know what, too? Let me show you this, too. This is something that I saw. I can show it to you because it is it is from a fan cam. It's from like a fan camera. But I want you to see what this is all about. So let me show you this. And if you miss it, you can always go to my Twitter. I have it on my Twitter account. I want you to see this. This is what we saw. Look at the interaction of Chiesa being subbed off in a game that he expects to play. He probably expects to play the entire game, to be honest with you. So I'm going to show you this. You see him talk, he's asking him, like, what, am I off for real? Look at his face.
I would have liked them to have got more than an hour, but the thing is, it was 2-1, that bastard goal. And it meant, like, we had to keep Virgil on, definitely, as well, didn't it, the goal?
Mm-hmm. Look at his face. He is not happy. And that's my point. Federico Chiesa, it tells you either Slot doesn't trust him tactically. Whoops, let me bring that back up, actually, so I can just bring it down this way. It goes to show you that he doesn't trust him technically or tactically. He doesn't believe in his pressing or positioning off the ball responsibilities. Or Slot doesn't trust him physically, maybe the intensity, the repeat sprints, the rhythm of the league. Or bluntly, Chiesa has not adapted to Liverpool demands. It's something, I don't know. Maybe Slot just never really fancied Chiesa. And I think
it seems that way, doesn't it? It seems that way, that he's probably never really fancied him as a player. And I think there will be quite a lot of disgruntled Liverpool fans once he leaves, that, like, we didn't see a bit more of him, because I really thought we would at some point. He took a little while to get going, but then when you see what he could do, it's like, yeah, hopefully we'll see a bit more of this, like, and he can, roll back the years before his injury. But he was never given the chance to get up ahead of steam. And maybe it is a physical thing. Maybe Slot's looked at him really carefully, and all his fitness guys have, and they've decided he can't do it, like, week in, week out, like, from, for 90 minutes, like, or whatever. So, they're looking to move him on probably as soon as they can. Which is sad for the lad, because he has showed some good stuff, like, you know what I mean? Scored a few goals, made a few goals, been lively, turned a few games. But, that's football.
And I get where you're going with that. It is sad to see, personally. I think it's very sad to see, because the player he plays football the Liverpool way, in my opinion. And now we're getting this I saw Heiler mention it, but we're getting this next layer where the Gazzetta dello Sport, I think it's pronounced, in Italy, they say Chiesa is willing to reduce his salary to help facilitate a move back to Juventus. He reportedly is on 6 million euros a year, right? And is willing to drop his wages to make the deal work, which is a major tell, if you ask me. Players don't do that unless they want certainty, comfort, football reset. They just want to be out of the situation. They're just done with it. They're willing to leave money on the table just to be away from the treatment they're getting from the coach. That's very, very wild, because Juventus initially came with a loan offer. It was a loan with an option. Liverpool weren't impressed. Now Juve are supposedly considering a loan with a mandatory purchase clause, but then the Athletic wrote, at least they said that Liverpool are likely or highly unlikely to sanction a loan deal. Period.
Yeah, I like that. If you want him, buy him. No try to buy. He's an established international player available for a few bob. Do you know what I mean? Like 10 million or something. Like, I know there isn't much money there now, but come on, 10 million. I mean, get your act together and pay up if you want him. No try to buy. No. We put our foot down over that. I do not want to see that. much better off keeping him till the summer.
Mhm.
Unless he pay off.
Yeah, Liverpool aren't a development club for Juventus. Let's just be honest. So if you're moving Chiesa on, you want money and you want clarity, especially in this window. And that's just a wild situation. But before I even move, so talking about forwards, Salah is making his pilgrimage back to Liverpool. And according to the Athletic, Salah is expected to remain at least until the end of the current season. But we all saw the outburst last month. We all know about it. That's obviously a player that has some real issues with the way things are being conducted at the club. And he obviously was reminding the club that he has leverage, that he expects the club to match his ambition. It's obviously hope that things have settled down after he returns from AFCON. And the line in the reporting that if problem persists, conversations could take place about him leaving before June 2027. That's what the word is. But I don't think that's going to happen personally. I'm not an ITK, but as I'm just saying, I just think that I just got my feelings is that that's not going to happen. We'll see if we see any type of a move, it'll be in the summertime. But the final forward in my list here was Barcola. There's a Barcola angle to this, and that is PSG have offered him a new deal. RMC Sport, which is a publication, has said that he and his representatives have responded, and Liverpool has still been linked as a potential destination if Salah ever wants to go. So apparently, we're looking at Barcola as a realistic replacement for Salah. There's a lot of questions in what I just said. I didn't even get in. I'm not even going to bring up the Isak situation, obviously, with his injury. But one, Nolante, should Liverpool refuse a Chiesa loan on principle, or is any exit better than letting the situation just, continue on and drift? 3-2, by the way. Big up. 3-2. Garnacho is feeling it today, by the way. Oh, my goodness.
I always thought he was half decent.
I've got an Ashman update for you, Norm, at the end of the show. So hold tight. What did you want to say, Lee?
Garnacho, I always thought he was half decent for a United player compared to the other crappy ones they had, like Rasmus and Anthony, who were even worse. He did okay. He's got a bit of skill, and I could see why Chelsea bought him.
Well, or if you don't want to answer the Chiesa question, Monte, then I can ask you Salah. Oh, okay.
No. Just waiting for Lee to say a bit. Salah finished. No. Listen, look. A simple question of Chiesa is this, and I know people want to go about directors, etc. If he's never going to be used or whatever.
Okay.
I mean, hey, some people like something else, but I won't say it on there. But anyway, Tracy. But anyway, listen.
Nacho Libre. That's what he is with Tracy.
Exactly, yeah. Tracy Libre, Nacho.
Tracy.
But look.
So funny.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. No, but look, the fact people want to support directors and head coach or etc. title, but at the end of the day, if Slot was not bothered, he should not have agreed to the deal with Chiesa. He should have told Edwards and Hughes like, no thanks, but no thanks, instead of saying yes, but I'll see what I could do with him, because it's just gone out of hand, and people say, oh, like this, oh, he wasn't fit, and like he wasn't. Yeah, you're right, but at the start of last year, January onwards, he was fit. He played one game, which he wasn't great, but he wasn't awful against Plymouth. And then we didn't see him until the games were done. Until it was party time. And this season, you hear all the talk he's going to go, and it's like, no, he's fit, he's 100% fit, he's going to be better. And all it is subs appearances. And even the games that he played well in the Carabao Cup, Southampton, 2 assists. Nothing. Salah having stinkers, nothing. You played him in one game against Leeds, which he was okay. He's decent, but again, you keep taking him off. Let him play 90 minutes. And then listen, I was arguing this on Brian's channel, and it's a shame that Irishman isn't here, because we have a debate. But he was saying about, oh, I'm tired of the Chiesa thing. Oh, he was poor. I didn't think he was poor yesterday. He was okay. Yeah, he could have been better, yes, but Frimpong, Frimpong was making a lot of overlaps. So Chiesa was covering the spaces. And and so I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and say he's fantastic. No, but he wasn't poor. One or two times Chiesa could have run with the ball, dribbled the ball a bit more. But he tried, he's still making movement. And and like you said, the thing at the end, why always me? So right now, I just don't understand the club and Slot. If you don't want him, let him go. And then you could have just got Semenyo, who again made an impact straight away with City. Chiesa could have could have just let Chiesa go, get Semenyo, job done. But it seems we're just dilly-dallying and just playing games with all these players and Slot as well. I just feel I really do feel for him. And haters or Brian, I'm sorry, Brian. I'm trying not to call you out.
Brian was supporting him a while back and saying, I want to see him more. He looks good, and we were agreeing that he could do stuff, but that he's went off him now, and he thinks just get rid.
No, I don't understand. But the thing is,
yesterday, that was the first time he'd started the game in how long?
So he started against Leeds. He started against Leeds.
The lad, like, when he hasn't started the game, like, since last season or something.
No, he started against Leeds.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought he was quite live. I mean, he tried a few things that didn't come off, tried to get a shot off, tried to link up with people. Didn't quite come off, but that's what happens when you haven't played in a while. You've got to feel your way back in.
That's what I was going to say. What my argument from it, and I said it when we were doing the ratings, when we're watching the FA Cup or when we were watching even the League Cup, but especially the FA Cup, with the strengthened squad out there, and with only a couple of new additions to it, I'm thinking to myself the same way I would think of, okay, somebody say, oh, well, Joey didn't have a great game. I'm like, yeah, but Joey hasn't had the ability to do what Ibu has had, because Ibu's had some bad games, for instance, but he's been able to play and play again and go again and go again to kind of get the rhythm and try to get the form and has been consistently called upon to allow for himself to, just find your form, just keep playing and find your form, as opposed to a Chiesa or even a Joey or maybe even a Rio. They'll have like an odd start, maybe because someone's injured or maybe because this or that. And there's no guarantee for some of these players. For instance, we could go with a Frimpong or a Bradley at the time. There'd be times when, rather than just say, okay, we're going to start Bradley, we're going to get him into form or get him into place as being our right back, we saw our coach go, no, I'm going to play Szoboszlai as a right back. I'm going to play Curtis Jones at a right back. And it's like you don't get the rhythm. So, like, I just think that Chiesa, there was a moment when Chiesa looked where a lot of the energy and the eagerness to be on the pitch and help and be a part of it was evident. And that's why we got the kind of performances we did in the beginning of the year. This is just my perspective, at least. And then I think that now that we're at this stage where the player is kind of like, I don't want to say he's completely checked out, but you could see from that clip that I just said, that's like, if there was anything, and this is why I brought up Mario's statement from when he was interviewed by AGT, just give Chiesa 90 minutes. It's the FA Cup. We're trying to rest players, trying to rest quote unquote everyday starters. Just give Chiesa 90 minutes. Give Gomez 90 minutes, or if you start Nioni, give him 90. Whoever it is that's in that replacement role, give them a real run. Allow for them to get a real set that they don't think that they're only gonna have 60 minutes to make an impact. And if they don't make an impact, they won't see the pitch for another 3-4 weeks, if not games.
No, I think the majority of our fan base, or more people do than don't, think that Chiesa has been treated shabbily. There's no two ways around it. Like, the guy's been treated shabbily by Slot. Considering the skill he's got, we all seen what he was like, before his injury, and for me, he was showing signs that maybe he'll never be that player. Well, yeah, he'll never be that player again. But I thought he could be good enough to do damage. I mean, we've never had an Italian who did. We've got Leone now, and I'd like him to do well. But before that, we'd had Aquilani and Desena, and they were poo. So I quite fancied the idea. Like, obviously, growing up watching the Italian game, you know what I mean. So it's like a big football nation, like, you know what I mean? I thought, yeah, we'll have an Italian in the team, like, but it hasn't transpired. Hopefully it will with Leone.
Yeah. It's for me, it's a simple deduction of I would have if it was up to me, as soon as you playing him as a right wing is cool, but when Cody was hurt or injured, to me, it was a non-brainer. You start Chiesa at the left wing, and you really try to get him into form, and you try to get him some rhythm, and you try to get some confidence in him. The confidence that he's starting to lack a little bit now because he doesn't know how long he's going to be on the pitch for. If beyond Chiesa, if Salah eventually leaves, is Bradley Barcola the right profile to replace him, do you think? By the way, I wanted to make sure I get into that before I move on.
I would love that. If we could make that possible, I would love that.
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
All right. All right. Well, let me hear, Lee. Let me hear why you would love it, and then let me hear why you would not.
If it was possible for him to come here, like, but the size of the deal and that would suggest that maybe it's not one that we do. We'd look at players with a slightly not as big a profile, shall I say, like, who'd be available for less money and for less wages. But he's a great player. He's an exciting player. No doubt about that. I'm just not sure of the likelihood of it, like, but yeah, why not? If we could have him, yeah.
And your rebut?
I just think Barcola's more left-footed. He's more better on the left for me on the right. He's good, but he's got too many inconsistencies for me in terms of decision making and stuff like that. I just think there's others out there, and the guy who I showed you in our group chat, who said he's got a thing for Liverpool. That's the guy that I want.
Yeah, and he looks perfect. Honestly, I'm glad you drew me attention to.
Diamante, or not?
Yeah.
Extra time, mate. Come on, Nigeria. I think that'd be a better final. Nigeria, Senegal, like, a better game of football.
Oh no, Morocco been playing well, to be honest. No, I don't want Nigeria to go through. No.
I don't have obviously not being Ghanaian. I don't care. I prefer Nigeria.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Lee. Oh, that's fair enough.
Morocco was so bloody dour as a team, like, aren't
they? No, they're good, Lee. No, to be fair, they're good. They're good. They play well. I was watching the first half before I came in. They were outplaying Nigeria. To be honest, they were playing good. They're not dull. They're not as bad as Egypt. Believe me, they play football. They press. Got a bit of a club about them. They do press.
Well, I do want to circle back real quick to the center back position, because I know because I want to take a little bit of a deeper
let's go.
Position.
Let's go.
Apparently, Marc Guehi's situation is fascinating. A lot of us out there, because we had the player basically, in a Liverpool kit, taking a medical, and all of a sudden the deal got, squashed. So now it's about leverage, and the player has it, his club has it, and unfortunately we don't have much leverage. That game has gone final 3-2, by the way. Arsenal has won that game. But Crystal Palace want roughly £35 million for a player that is free in the summer.
That's
let him go now.
That's way too much. 35. That is stupid talk. That to pay that much for somebody who's free in a few months'
Exactly.
time. Mate, January's halfway through already.
Well, that's the point, is that 35 million is what we have to pay just to get the player. But then Guehi is reportedly seeking around 200,000 pounds per week. And multiple clubs could be in line to, listen to what they
The
have
wages
to
have gone
pay for.
mental now. I'm sorry, mate. Sorry. The wages have gone mental now, haven't they? It's got to be curtailed somewhere, like, because the wages have just gone extraordinary, haven't they? Now, if that's what, like, he wants starting off 200,000.
Well, there's not just Liverpool involved in this talk, though. Bayern Munich are involved, apparently. They say that they're not going to give up on trying to persuade him to come to Germany. Their focus may be on Upamecano's contract, but they're still watching the Guehi situation very closely. That's according to Sky Germany. And then Bayern have also an advantage as a foreign club because they can negotiate a pre-contract now, as opposed to Premier League clubs that have to. If you're talking about the summer, at least, we'd have to wait until the actual summer to actually do those conversations about signing him in the summertime. But then you've got City, and Fabrizio Romano has said that City will attempt to sign him next week. Even though the player's intentions is to wait until summer, City are poised to make it a forced situation on him and Crystal Palace. And especially with this Vardiol injury, it's making a big difference. I mean, Liverpool are really pushing. Arsenal are calling for him as well. There's been some shouts that Liverpool and Arsenal are the two favorites that he would prefer to go to, but he would still be open to a Manchester City move. It's weird because all these reports have him going this way and that way. There's even Real Madrid that is interested in the player if you listen to reports. So the danger for Liverpool is simple. If we wait because we think the player is assured to come to Liverpool, then we could possibly see him not only go now in January, we could maybe even see him go to another team in the summer, which is really, really wild. Should Liverpool meet Palace's £35 million asking price, or wait until the summer? What do you think, Lee?
I wouldn't be happy with us paying. I wouldn't be happy with us paying 35 million for somebody who's free in the summer. I prefer us to spend that just like on somebody. On somebody else, basically. I just prefer to spend that on somebody else. If I'm going to spend any money this January, I'd wait till the summer for Guehi, and I'd buy somebody else. Because we definitely need someone.
Is he the right player to, in your opinion, Nolante, is Guehi the right player to build the next version of Liverpool's defense around? Is he the future for us?
Before I answer that, 12, quickly, just to ask, it didn't happen to a nicer club. Madrid's week has gone from bad to worse. They've been knocked out by a second division team in the Copa del Rey. So Alonso will be sitting there with a nice drink in the head.
Yeah, he'll be like, okay. He'll be saying, all right, Junior and Mbappe. Not Jude, by the way. Jude did come out and say some very strong words, saying that he wasn't one of those people out there pushing for Alonso to be sacked. But yeah, good for Alonso. Well, do you think Guehi, if available, is he the right profile?
For me, yes. I wouldn't have said this about 2 to 3 years ago because he was at Chelsea, Palace. I thought he was average, if I'm honest, but he's gone on leaps and bounds since then. Obviously, he played in the Euros. I know he's a back three, but he got to Euro 24 final of England. So and he's very good, solid. Yeah, I think I hate when people say about his height, saying, "Oh, he's too small. We need to be 6'4". There's 6'4" defenders that are useless. I mean, like there's smaller Cannavaro, there's others. Martinez is a good header of the ball from Man United. Like he's good in the air. So yeah, for me, it's a no-brainer. Homegrown, and he will get better for this next revolution in the back line. Yeah, for me, go get him.
Okay. All right. Just answering a question in the chat. All right. Do you think that we can win if we do get into a little bit of a tug of war? Do you think we have the ability to win this against the City and against Arsenal?
Easily in a tug of war. I'm afraid to say I think Arsenal are winning the league, not City. So why would you go to City? I don't think Arsenal are after him, are they? So if he's going to go anywhere in England, he's going to go to Liverpool, I think.
Okay.
And we'll receive him with open arms and much gratitude. And can't wait for it to happen. I just hope there's other signings as well because we need them. It's full on ridiculous if we don't have a signing this January. It makes no sense whatsoever. Well, we don't want us to make a panic buy, but I mean, panic is very far away when you're down to two central defenders, and you haven't got a single other option. We've got three again now because Joe's back, but you know what I'm saying? We've got very few options. We need signing. It has to happen.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat while you're speaking. I'm sorry about that. You got everyone's. I got some people responding to the mention of Jude. Look, this wasn't a story I was going to report on, but there is. I'm just going off the top of my head. There is a report saying that we are going to make a 180 million euro bid for Jude Bellingham.
I don't believe that.
If that
I'm not saying I know not many people will believe that. I know not people will believe that one, but I'm just telling you what I read. That's all. That was something that a publication put out there.
Oh, I'll tell you, mate, they can publication them way out there. That is fake news with a capital F.
Fake news.
Okay. Yeah. The only reason that would happen is if we would sell Gravenberch and McAllister. And we say, oh, we want Jude. That's the only way I see that. Apart from that, nah. He's content at Madrid. He won't want to come to us anyway. He made his bed, so he'll lie in it.
Well, yeah, maybe you do a deal where you sell them McAllister and Jude for 180 million, or not McAllister and Grav for 180 million combined, and then you bring back Jude for 180 million, so that it's not a swap deal. Because swap deals don't really work out with PSR nowadays. So most times you'll see teams push to do actual exchange deals. Excuse me. Still 0-0 in that Nigeria-Morocco game, by the way.
Yeah, bit of a surprise, man. Some good players out there. Firepower. Morocco had the better game. Yeah. Morocco had the better game, to be honest, out of the two.
Who was the Moroccan centre-back? West Ham bought. He was good in the World Cup, but then he got injured or something, never played. Moroccan centre-back, left-footed he was.
What you mean? Agard.
That's
he's left West Ham now. You think he's in Saudi, I think? Some load at Marseille. I think he's gone to Saudi.
Yeah, he was really good in the World Cup, so I was eager to see what happened. But he got injured, didn't he? He struggled with injury when he arrived, I think, more than anything.
Well, let me talk about fullbacks with you guys for a little bit. Then I'll switch it up to fullbacks. Because on paper, Liverpool aren't planning to sign a new right back in January. So for those that think we're going to go for a right back in January, it doesn't look like it. I know that there are reports out there that we're looking at the Dortmund right back. I think there was another right back out there that we're apparently, quote unquote, interested in. What's his name? I had the names actually. It's Gavario Reed, Daniel Banjacque, Ajaki, and Vanderson are three. And even Jacobo Ramon at Como is even a name. There's a lot of talk. It's weird because one report will say we're not going for anyone, and then another report will say, but these are the players that we're monitoring and possibly going to go for. So it's a matter of what publication that you actually believe is the one to go with. The message, one of the publications I do like and I do believe in is The Athletic, and apparently they were saying Bradley's out for the season. He's had the surgery. The hope is he's back for preseason. Liverpool don't want to make a permanent signing to cover half a season, period. That's what they're saying. I don't know if the talk about, like I said, team talk claimed Liverpool are considering three fullbacks. They said Reed, Banjaqui, actually, it's Banjaqui, and Vanderson. And on top of that, caught offside. It's even said that Liverpool are among clubs monitoring Jacobo Ramon at Como, with Real Madrid holding a buyback clause of 8 million euros. Then you get to the social media noise, and you talk about Reed, who apparently we've been interested in before, even before the injury, actually. And he debuted under Slot at Feyenoord. There's a relationship. And the rumor picks up because Bradley is out, of course. But it's also noted that it hasn't been widely reported elsewhere. So a lot of these reports you take them with a grain of salt. Even more salt, maybe a bit less salt than the Jude rumor, but you definitely take them with a grain of salt. And it makes sense not to panic buy. It makes sense to understand that these players are going to eventually return. Do you agree with Liverpool if we take the stance not to buy a right back? I actually, and now I'll just state my opinion. I do like I do like Ramsey as a legitimate resource, and I'd like to see the guy play for Liverpool. He was hyped. He was someone that was supposedly was going to be eventually the Trent Alexander-Arnold replacement or prodigy. I'd like to see the guy give him a chance. But what are your thoughts, Delonte?
In terms of the right back situation, it just is what it is anyway. Like I said, I don't want to see. I don't want to see. Again, we talked about this. I think till the cows come home, we don't want to see Robbo right back again. If you're not 100% with Frimpong at right back, or just resting for a game, just play Ramsey. Simple as just play Gordon Ramsay and they'd be done with it. But he's gonna overcomplicate Kings and do his 100 catchphrases in his word preferences. So sad, but yeah.
I mean, the options we've got now is Ramsey and Joe. Either of them as being able to come on to get, because I don't want to overplay Frimpong. I want to start him all the time, but I want to be able to bring him off after 70 minutes as often as we can, or 70. You know what I'm saying? Give his legs a rest, because he's important for us now. We've got to keep him fit, so we don't want to overdo him, overload him. So I would like to see that, if we're ahead in games and we can afford to bring Joe right back for Frimpong, and that's all well and good, innit? But really, I would prefer Joe to be playing at centre back if he's playing at all. But they're the two choices we've got now, beyond putting Dom back there again, or Curtis and shit. They're the options we've got, and it will see over the coming weeks which way he goes, Ramsey or Joe.
Yeah, 100% on that.
Yeah, I did used to like under Klopp when Joe would come on for Trent when we wanted to lock games down and just manage games. That used to be a good substitution. was mad seeing him at like he played 5 positions in clubs last season, didn't he? And then went to Euros, he played the 6, he played left back, right back, left centre back, and right centre back all in that season.
Yeah. Are you comfortable with just saying this, giving Gomez or giving and eventually possibly even more so, or no, I'll put the question this way. Are you more comfortable giving Gomez the minutes, or are you more comfortable in since now we're going to have Salah obviously returning to the team, are you more comfortable with having Frimpong take the right back minutes? Because Frimpong has been pretty productive as our right wing, actually.
Oh, I would prefer to see Frimpong at right back, and then an option is to take him off, and bring Joe or Ramsey on. It's a crucial period for Joe. Like we desperately need him to stay fit because we desperately need him. Do you know what I mean? We need as many players as we can at the moment. We've got quite a few injuries, and it's a crucial period for him. Like if he can stay fit, then there should be quite a few games for him, considering Ibu's form this season. Like, do you know what I mean?
Okay. It's an interesting question. Very interesting question because we're pressed with the midfield question. We could talk about that too. I was going to play this. Let me see if I can play this clip real quick, actually.
I like him on the wing too, armchair, but I think I prefer him at right back. That pace coming on the outside to get to the line. It's the first time we're really seeing him properly now because of the injuries he's had since he come. But I'm really excited by his form lately, and his little cameos, like getting stuff done. He gives us such a great option, doesn't he? Like going down that right with his pace, because it's electrifying when he gets going, and he can get into his, his starting like speed, and he's just off, mate.
I want you to hear this clip and tell me what is your interpretation. Tell me in the chat too. Tell me what your interpretation of this clip is. And you know what? Let me make sure the sound, because I don't think you can hear the sound on this. I'm going to bring it back up. I want to know your interpretation of what, because I saw some people's interpretation of this. It wasn't really endearing, but I want to hear what you thought he was saying. This is our coach speaking, by the way, too, after the FA Cup.
A lot of teams that are coming here for probably, how many games did we play this season? Probably around 30. I think 28 of my pre-match meetings I could just throw in the bin. I think only once or twice the team did what they did the 20 weeks before. That was Arsenal, was one of them. They just played against us what we used to. But Barnsley always plays a 4-3-3, and today decided to go with 5, which I can completely understand, which I would have done when I was their manager as well. But another time, a meeting that you try to show them what they can expect, what to expect, what they usually do. But yeah, a lot of teams that are coming here.
What were your interpretations of that? It's a little bit of a tough. Like, what were your interpretations of that? It's tough to hear when a coach says the majority of his the things that he game plans around seldom get used, I guess you could say. Okay. That's basically what he's saying. Okay. He's saying how the only team that really played for, how he'll give, they'll prepare, they'll do their research, they'll prepare for, they'll do their pre-match talk, and he said pretty much over 90% of the time, none of the teams come out and do what they prepared for.
What's we saying? He's being taken by surprise a little bit.
I guess you could say that. I know when I saw this clip, where I saw reactions to this clip, a lot of people were up in arms about it.
I don't doubt that the pressure's intensified on him since Xabi Alonso lost his job, and he'll be well aware of the high esteem that Xabi's held in here, and it has increased the pressure on him. So you might hear a few strange ramblings from, or more, even more strange ramblings from him, like in coming weeks. Bit like Arteta last season when Arteta lost the plot.
Right.
Poor old Arnie.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if you had a quick interpretation of that. Maybe we could talk about it again some other time. But if you want to get into this conversation about the midfield, then, and that extra time, it is now halftime in the extra time of that Nigeria-Morocco game. It's definitely getting very close to just going to penalty kicks, it looks like. But if you're talking about our midfield, that's where we've had somewhat of a complex. If this was a relationship on Facebook, it probably would say it's complicated. So it is an interesting circumstances that when you go up against our midfield, and that is because our midfield, I thought, was one of the best midfields in the league last year, and this year, not so much. We feel both strong and strangely uncertain at the same time. And on paper, you've got quality. You've got Grav, you got Maka, you got Dom. There should be a midfield that controls games. But sometimes we have struggled to do so. And the control hasn't necessarily been there. That's why, apparently, there is another name on the list of players that we are looking at. And that is Keith Smith. He's a 19-year-old.
Yeah,
he's a 19-year-old at AZ. He is turning heads in the Eredivisie.
John Arne Reese lookalike, any? We seen him a few months ago when he was first linked, and people will say he's a lookalike. He doesn't actually look that much like him. He's just got ginger hair, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we were like, apparently he's quite industrious, like, hard working midfielder, which is always good as long as they've got skill as well. But I'd be open for some bigger names, maybe like for links from midfield.
I was going to say, once you hear the price, you'll say something. I know that he might be a little bit too young for Nolante. I get that, but all right, just seeing if Nolante is with us or not, I guess, because he's on mute. But he's a 19-year-old, like I said. He's Liverpool are keeping tabs on him, but Newcastle is showing interest. Even Real Madrid are very, very interested in them as well. But the price tag is where you got to give a little bit of pause, and that is they are asking for £52 million. Apparently, that is a lot of money.
Yeah, 9 danker. I think I'll pass on that one.
Right. This is a very, very talented profile that's wanted by obviously elite clubs. But is it a profile that is being overpriced in the market? I mean, you think about it, speaking of the Eredivisie, we got McConnell. McConnell's situation is the Ajax boss, Fred Grimm, says the loan is close to being terminated and that McConnell is already back at Merseyside, just waiting on administration steps. And then you've got Curtis Jones. This one was a wild, wild rumor. The rumor was this. Cujo was apparently being considered as a target by Spurs. Apparently, Spurs considered moving for Cujo before they went and got Conor Gallagher. We all know Gallagher's now confirmed at Spurs, but that was a wild notion to see that they were interested in Cujo. So, would you pay $52 million for Keith Smith? I already know Lee's answer, but Nolante, would you? Is he too young of a player? He's 19 years old, so maybe he's too young of a player. maybe not.
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. Okay.
No, not for me.
Not for
That's
you.
a huge fee for him, isn't it? Like 52 million. It's a trifle extortionate of them to ask that much, I would say, AZ Alkmaar. But, you know, the smallest club, they need to get good money in for him when he leaves. But I would be very surprised if that was what they wanted. It'd be somewhere probably a lot lower than that, maybe. Maybe you could get him like in low 30s, something like in reality.
How about this one then? I spoke about Cujo.
Are they talking about 52 euros? So that's about
no pounds. 52 million
pounds. Yeah, that's even worse. It's even more.
I asked you about I brought up the Cujo thing. If we're going to look at it, I know on the Jones to Spurs angle, at least, even if it didn't happen, obviously it didn't happen, but even if it didn't happen, does this maybe tell you that the market values him higher than maybe some Liverpool fans value Cujo as a player? The fact that Spurs were trying to coerce Liverpool into selling him before they settled on Conor Gallagher?
It's interesting that, like I've said it before, but there was at least one Arsenal fan who wanted to buy Jones it was about 18 months ago. I just remember him saying, yeah, he's because Arsenal were after midfield, and he was saying that what I want is Curtis Jones. There's only one Arsenal fan, like, but you know, I was saying, yeah, he's a good player, you know what I mean? So he has got his admirers, and he is a good player, better player than some may give him credit for. He just needs to carry on progressing, like, and getting better and better, and hopefully he'll do that. But he's been good this season. We've needed him, haven't we? Like, you know, with McAllister being injured and then back but off form, we've really needed him, like, and he's done his bit.
If you want to bring it back to the Smith situation, I get that 52 million is a lot. But if you wait, then you maybe get into a situation like Adam Wharton, for instance, who all of a sudden is now being valued as a 9-figure transfer market price. Now, do I think Wharton is a £100 million player? No, but he is an exceptional player. If you don't act now on a player like Smith and you wait until he's proven it somewhere else, maybe, you're never going to be able to afford the player. So is it move now despite the heavy price tag? Or is it regret it later when the price tag is unreachable? And for you, Lee, anything?
Just run that one by me again. I was just typing something, sorry.
If you are, is it a matter of act on Smith now, despite the price tag being high, because he is a promising player. Obviously, he's a sought after talent by some very big clubs. Mm-hmm. Act on it now, and obviously, and eat the little bit of extra money you have to pay, or possibly regret it later when he proves himself, and the price tag is too unreachable. All of a sudden, he goes from 52 million to maybe like a 104 million pound player.
Well, that is if he develops, if he is the player that some people think he is, then maybe that would be the smartest move to get him while his price is lower.
Yeah, I'll give you one. Can I tell you? Can I interject something real quick? There was a report, for instance, interview with Mbappe, and he was talking about his time in France before he went to PSG, how he had conversations with Klopp, and how he was contemplating even going to Liverpool at that moment. And it's one of those cases where if we had really pursued him heavily, maybe Mbappe makes the move to Liverpool rather than PSG. So maybe the situation could be very similar with this Smith deal. That's what I'm trying to get across to you, Lee. I see you're finished typing, so.
There's loads of old bollocks, like. But...
Oh, well, you can tell me in the chat if you guys believe that or not. If you're listening to us on X, please do include yourself in the conversation. If you do type, if you're on X and you're listening to us, because I know there's about 80 of you in the chat here. So like if you are on X, then simply put your comment in, despite the fact that it might not necessarily, you might not see it be a part of the YouTube chat. I'll still see it. I'll include your conversation with us here as well, so that both platforms are intermingled with each other. And I agree, Mbappe might be a bad example because Mbappe tends to seem to be a troublemaker more than a unifier. But
what I saw Smith described of was a box-to-box player, a box-to-box midfielder. I know that can be interpreted a couple of different ways, but it sounds like he's a hard worker, and that can be great, like for the midfielder, as long as they've got skill as well. But we haven't had many midfield links, have we? And that is a persistent one because it ain't the first time we've been linked with them now. First time was months ago, so it's one to watch for us, isn't it?
I think so. I agree with that completely. I'm going to roll into this fun segment. We got about 30 minutes, a little bit less than 30 minutes. We'll probably hang out until at least to the end of the Nigeria-Morocco game. We're done the serious business. We're done talking serious talk, I guess. Now it's time for a part of the show that I would like to see be made more to become more of an occurrence in the show, and that's called I'm calling it trolling Twitter, basically, because football Twitter is 24/7. There's a lot of people listening to us on Twitter or X currently right now. And there is a lot of comments that are made on X that include a lot of different takes, a lot of different exclusives and the likes. Here's some breaking news. JK is joining us on the panel. JK.
That's a work.
Hi, JK.
Easily another.
So we've got some gems that I put together, some things that catch my eye or caught my eye. I've got a bunch of some interesting little takes and this and that. There was so I saw a situation, or I saw a tweet just recently, and if you're out there in the YouTube chat, if you are listening to us again on X, or whether it's those of us on the panel, sometimes we have noisy Manchester United fans that like to talk a lot of nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a revelation to me and to when I saw this, because it made me think, wow, it's been a while. Erik ten Hag is the only manager to win a trophy for Manchester United in the last 9 years. Just put that in like thought. Like if you ever have a Manchester United Red Devil. If you have if you're on sometimes we have to listen to we do these you see these shows, they'll have panels, they'll have a diverse panel of other supporter creative content creators for other channels. I always run up against not on physically on the panel, but he certainly tends to tries to pick on my comments in the chat. And that's Kaz from Never a Foul, Manchester United supporter, a loud voice for them as well. 9 years, and you could argue that your best coach in 9 years, pretty much in a decade of time, your best coach was Erik ten Hag. How does that feel that it's like you might as well just not put a temporary under construction sign, just put a full-time under construction, help wanted sign at old toilet, because it is wild to hear that. Is it not, or am I alone in that? Manchester, is that wild?
Yeah, because
I heard. Yeah, go ahead.
Large, bless up red armchair as well. For me, bro, when you look at easy Nalante,
easy checking. Oh, good, bro.
Oh, good. When you look at remember the old days, this guy's growing up, Man United with their team. They were the ones. So to see that now, because I remember when I was them days, and I was like, "Oh, what's going to happen when Ferguson leaves? Are they going to be this good?" Mm-hmm. Everyone had their doubts, and then they went to Moisey, and everyone thought Scottish. He's going to come in and do what Ferguson did, and he found it tricky as well. And ever since, I think Mourinho was probably their best manager they had since Ferguson left. I think he finished second. I think. Did he win? What did he win? Mourinho? Do you know off the top of your head? So realistically, they're just going downhill since them days. They're getting in Carrick now. Mm-hmm. Almiron, for me, Almiron was a good coach away from home. I think the pressure at home, he couldn't really handle it. Away from home, they did pretty well, bro. They came to Anfield and won this season. But when you look at Man United, bro, I'm just happy internet wasn't there when we were suffering in them days. Mm-hmm. It saved us as a club, bro. I'm telling you now. The internet came out perfectly for Arsenal and Man United to fail. So we're blessed in that way. God's on our side.
It is.
When that happened.
That's a good point.
Yeah, man.
It's a very good point. I did see, I know Carrick, right, has been appointed as the new administrator for them, or a new coach for them. Brian's saying the UEFA Cup. They won
and the Carabao Cup. He won both.
Oh yeah, he did.
Jose. Yeah, Jose.
That was more than 9 years ago. That's the thing.
Mate, the UEFA Cup was dead hard to win when we won it years ago, specifically in the 70s, because it was only the champions in the European Cups. You'd have second, third, whatever, fourth, from the big leagues in that. Tremendously hard trophy to win, the UEFA Cup at one time.
I wanted to share with you, there was some, so they're trying to make some progress, and obviously they've gone from Amarin and now to their interim coach, and they're open to keeping it that way. There's been some footage though of the progress they're making. I'll show you what the progress that they're making is. Apparently this is the progress that they're having.
There you go. And then you go.
That was a good one, 12.
Yeah. That's great progress. And we may continue.
That's the win at Anfield. This part's the win at Anfield. Wait. The bit where they saw on while they were on the road, that's when they won at Anfield. And ever since then, downhill again. But when you look at the club as a whole, you would think there's someone there. Like if Ferguson's there, coming to games, blah blah blah, hasn't he got a clue what to do? Like who to hire, who to go for? Because for me, that just shows you United was just a club for a few years, decades, 20 years, and that's about it. And that's a bit embarrassing. Look how much money they've spent, man. They're buying Anthony. They bought Lukaku. They bought Pogba again after selling him. Them sort of moves, bro. Come on. Who in their right mind bought Pogba back and Ronaldo as well? Ronaldo had a good season when he came back, but they got rid of him quick as. You know, like...
They're in bad shape. I was watching some, I don't know, podcast with these like posh journalist fellas on it, and one of them was saying, and it's quite common now, this thing, like the people are saying that United have only had like the two good managers, the periods under Fergie and Busby, and apart from that, like they've been crap, is basically what he was saying in not so many words, like this bloke. But you can look at it that way, can't you?
No, yeah. Brian saying to you, JK, Fergie picked Moyes, so JK, so he wouldn't be asking him.
Yeah, it's like how can they be like Moyes? When you look at it on paper, was Scottish, as I said before, did well at Everton, got them okay, you know what I mean? And you would think, the next choice, Moyes, he might be okay, but he weren't, you know. So
it was mad because I didn't think I could hate another United manager as much as I hated Alex Ferguson, but Moyes fitted the bill perfectly, coming straight from Everton, and after saying that Everton are the people's club, garbage again in the game while he was Everton's manager.
I mean, there was a wild story. This is another tweet I saw. There was a wild story about Manchester United where David Beckham one day, he said, this is a quote from David Beckham. He said, one day when he was at Manchester United, he got a mohawk. He knew Sir Alex Ferguson wouldn't like it. So in the first days of training, he wore a beanie to hide it. On match day, he had to take off the beanie, obviously, to play. And when he went out to warm up, Ferguson said, shave that off right now. Beckham laughed.
It started a horrible trend here in England when Beckham had that. Not when it's shaved, a mohawk, but with actual hair at the sides. Loads of people started doing that in England, or well too many, and it was a horrible thing.
But he laughed. But Beckham went on to say he laughed, but his face changed, and he said, "I'm serious. Shave it off right now."
So my favorite story between Fergie
and he went to the bathroom and shaved it off.
My favourite story about Fergie and Beckham is Fergie was having one of his half-time rants and he kicked a football boot in frustration and it flew up and hit Beckham right in the gob and cut his face, his precious face, like, and apparently Beckham squared up to him physically, you know what I mean? The two of them, like, he did square up to him, apparently, Beckham.
That's wild.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, bro, a football manager's job is to keep it sweet, you know? And look at Man United, they've always had players making noise, and that's what's been happening. High wages at United, big names, and something's always sort of rocking the boat there, you know what I mean? And the manager's job is to keep everyone sort of happy in that, you know what I mean? To get the club going in the right direction. So if you can't keep it sweet behind the scenes and all that, it's a waste of time, man.
Yeah, it is penalty time, by the way. It is penalty time.
Surprise. That's very surprised.
I mean,
just half an hour ago.
Who would have?
Football.
Yeah. No, there was something that was very interesting too. Speaking of ultimatums not ultimatums. Authoritarian type situations with the coach and whether his word is law or not. This is according to the Anfield papers. There was a tweet that said, Arne Slot on the team's connection. And he said, quote, "It's good. We joke a lot. The players call Cody Captain Obvious," which I still don't understand, but they all laugh. That's what he said, I swear.
What? That's weird. Is this AI?
No, that's what he
What?
said.
Captain Colt? What? Come again?
Here's the play. Okay, I'll repeat it. It says, It says, "It's good. We joke a lot. The players call Cody Captain Obvious," which this is Arne Slot. This is Arne Slot, excuse me, speaking. He says the players call Cody Captain Obvious, which I still don't understand, but they all laugh.
I don't understand. Yeah, obvious on what he's gonna do. Yeah, but I think Slot likes to keep it sweet. He definitely likes to keep it sweet. Slot.
That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
Not really. Yeah, not really sweet though. You know what I mean? He's all like diabetic levels. Arne Slot. He loves to rustle over feathers. You know what I mean?
Keeping it sweet. Old Slutty.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just funny statement.
But Arsenal's the same, bro. When you look at Arsenal right now, yeah, they win today in the semi-final 3-2, but they ain't won nothing for years, bro. An FA Cup, that's about it. They've spent over $1 billion now. We're the best, bro. Yeah, I think sometimes Liverpool fans don't realise how big and great we've been with the league title champion. Did you see that Sabotolai video where he's on about Arsenal are playing the champions?
Oh yeah. When he asked him, before the Arsenal game,
I got big respect for Sabotolai.
Oh yeah.
What a video, bro! That lyric there he pulled out there, I was like, you know what? I like this guy even more now. You know, he went my favorite last season end of it. But
yeah, what's the goals?
You're great. You offered to play his position, JK, number 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely what your favourite.
I watched the interview with Tim Pong earlier, just about moving to Liverpool and that, and his expectations and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good interview, So you saw about Virgil in it, and how good a leader Virgil is. You might have seen it yourself. You saw that bit about Virgil's leadership and that. It was good. It was a good interview.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was some funny quotes, some funny stuff. There was another one that I wanted to. Oh, this is something I wanted to include too. And it's interesting because Hugo Ekitike has scored in the Premier League, the UCL, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Community Shield this season. He becomes just the second player to score in 5 different competitions during their debut campaign. Can you tell me the other player that has done so?
So who's that? So
Ekitike has scored in the Premier League, the UCL, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Community Shield this season. He becomes just the second player to score in 5 different competitions during their debut campaign. Who was the other player that did so?
Oh, in history, in all competitions. Torres?
No. I'll give you a hint. It is a Liverpool player.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, in case because you might have said Messi, or you could have said Ronaldo or something.
Mm-hmm. I'll go with what Armchair says. Salah.
Salah is incorrect.
Okay.
Suarez is incorrect.
Sturridge.
I'll give you another hint. It's not in the Premier League. How about that? It's before the Premier League.
Oh, before the Premier League.
The player that did it. The player that did
Ian
it
Rush.
was Ian Rush is incorrect.
Oh,
But you're on.
Aldridge.
You're getting hotter. You're getting hotter. How about that?
Aldridge.
No.
Beasley.
Dalglish.
There you go. King
there
Kenny.
you go.
King Kenny. Yeah.
That's right.
Do you remember that player manager, Kenny Dalglish, man?
Yeah, I
Can you
watched his
imagine it now?
documentary. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, you think I ain't seen it yet. I ain't seen
It's really good. Really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, really
is it
good.
on
Yeah.
Prime?
Yeah, on Prime, JK. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
There
ain't
was-
seen that.
There was this too. There was I don't know. It's very interesting. It's 2-2, by the way, in pens so far. In now it's 3-2 now. Morocco leads 3-2 in the penalties. What was wild is they don't do that here, I don't believe, but whoever runs the Domino's Twitter site or X site is pretty.
Oh, they're
pretty,
too funny, bro.
yeah, they go in.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
They
They're
showed
too
like
funny. No player like that.
empty. Yeah, they show like they're like the next manager is for United, and they showed like an open pizza box. But they showed his replay. They showed this, which is wild. This is what they said. This was, hold on, let me give you the exact quote for it. This was world-class players at the Big Six clubs. That's what it was called. I want to see who you would exit and who you would include in this list. This was their shout for world-class players. I think they've got too many Arsenal players in the list, to be honest with you. And that's not me just hating on Arsenal. I just don't know. I don't know if Odegaard necessarily qualifies as world class per se. He's a very talented player.
I'm sure I think Rice is world class either.
That's exactly
If
what
Foden isn't, what's he doing there? That stupid face of his, why is Foden there? He ain't world class. Haaland and Rodri are.
I would have put Silva. I would have put Silva in there before, and I hate the rat, but I would have put Silva in there before Foden, to be honest with you.
Now, for me, he's a top player, but this season not great. God knows what. He might not even get in the England team. Chelsea, Palmer. Not a big fan.
It's more that I just don't like him, Foden. It's his face that irritates me rather than what he says, but he's moaning.
Morocco is moving on, by the way. It's 4-2. Morocco is going to be moving on.
The other semi-final, Salah, Mane.
Yeah.
Salah was non-existent, bro. They didn't give him the ball. Like he had
one run and he got shackled. But Egypt were never going to win, JK. Egypt, they got an inferior squad. That's the thing. And the tactics was horrible. Yeah, I don't know why he's just, yeah.
Like, it was Mo who won us the game against Burnley away. He won it, like.
Yeah. But for me, maybe he'll be back for the Champions League game. But I think today, at the end, as soon as they scored, for me, they should have just gave the ball to Salah. Because what it was, he was in the box in such a top position every time. He was the spare man on the right side because they kept coming on the left. Never gave him the ball. But hey, for me, I would add Enzo Fernandez to the Chelsea one. I reckon he's a top player, man.
Okay.
Oh, no, he's got to play the third, fourth game, hasn't he, Mo, before he comes back?
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, he does have one more game.
That's on the weekend.
Yeah.
That's on the
He might
weekend.
as well have gone to the final then, man.
That's this weekend, though.
Yeah.
That's not great, is it?
I mean, if the Egyptian coach is right, he'll rest him and not bother.
Yeah, I want him to do well, have a good thingy and come back. But yeah, third, fourth place playoff, so we will be able to have him for Burnley. But God, that Burnley game was tough, and he got the pen, didn't he, and then scored it off Hannibal's handball.
Red Armchair's question. I think, look, he scored 4 goals in this tournament. Salah, bro. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We've needed Salah in a few games since he's been gone. Sunderland at home, you know what I mean? He got an assist before he left with a corner, so he can take corners. That's no problem. If he keeps on doing them ones. But I think, look, you know, Mane, we let him go too early, man. Watching him
You wanted
today,
to
bro,
go,
he's
JK?
still got it in him. His goal today was just typical Mane, bang.
Yeah. He wanted to
was.
go, JK. That's the thing. Yes,
He
it's
wanted to go,
there's
yeah?
nothing to do. Yeah. He wanted to go. He wanted a new challenge, so we can't keep him.
He went to Munich, bro, and to tell you the truth, he just didn't fit in there. I knew it. It weren't just smooth. You know what I mean? Like, say like Olise went from Palace straight over, bang, he's a star, bro. Where Mane, for some reason, he just didn't click at Bayern because I watched him closely there. You know what I mean? I was thinking, wow, he's a good little signing for him, but I just felt he had another year or so with us, bro. He could have done it. I'll take him now on the left side. I'll tell you the truth. Instead of Gakpo, I'm telling you now, man.
I just saw that. Would you have Saka in as world class? I know that they did put Dom in there, so that makes it a little bit different. But is Saka?
Dom shouldn't be there.
I don't know if Dom should be there. He's having a great
No.
season, but I don't think he's world class.
He's not
I don't
world
think he's
class.
world class yet. Nah, he's on his way.
Yeah,
I think Wirtz is for me world class, bro.
I think Wirtz is
like for me, not because
not yet.
Like, I've seen a lot of him in Germany and stuff, and I just feel if he ain't world class now, he will be. Him and Szoboszlai, so that's good potential there to have in the squad where you've got guys just bordering world class. So that's a good thing. There's a few,
but is Saka my question is though, is Saka I think we all think Odegaard shouldn't be there. We all think that Rice possibly shouldn't, or the majority of us think that Rice shouldn't be there. You think Odegaard's world class?
Oh, what a player, bro. Look, if he came in the Liverpool team, he would have been great for us. He's a top player for me. I reckon
Arteta's whiteboard is world class. Okay.
Saka's world class, but I think recently he hasn't been great. I think he got injured and stuff. Like he gets injured he gets fouled.
Well, you know why I'm bringing that up is this, because it's very interesting. When you look at this list, and Saka, we've heard the Saka versus Salah debate. We've heard all this different talk. And I think Saka is a talented player. Don't get it twisted. But do you realize that Saka's only has 4 goals in his last 20 league matches?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Recently, he hasn't been great.
And over the last 2 seasons, he's had 10. So that's including the 4 this year. So 2 goals in the last 2 seasons with 44 matches played. And one of those, and he takes penalty kicks for them too, by the way. I'm not trying to discount that, but
no, he's a top player, bro. But you know what it is with players when they're injured, let them rest for a month, because at the end of the day, look at their subs bench. You got Eze, you got the other lad they got from Chelsea, Mariuki. You're trying to tell me they can't play for a few weeks there? Like, come on, man, you don't need to play Saka today in that game. There's enough talent there. Martinelli's off the bench, so there's enough mans to play for Saka. Like for me, Saka don't need to play today. It's a semi-final, yeah, but come on, there's enough quality there. You got to look after these type of players. Like Saka, for me, a few years, like that's not just he's a top player for me. But since he's been injured and stuff, different recently, not great. I watched him in a few games now, and I'm like, what does he do? He's not really doing nothing.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I know once that gets circulating that we're talking what is going to be perceived as dirt or mess on the prodigal son of Arsenal, we are going to hear it from the Gooners. But I just thought that was very interesting. I just know that people go sometimes a little bit over the top in trying to make Saka be the heir apparent to our Egyptian king, for instance, as the best right wing in the league. And it's just interesting. He's had, again, in the past 2 years, he's had one half the output of goals that Salah has had in his seasons. Albeit some might push back and say, well, Salah's not doing that well this year, but still. Here is I want to do one last international, and then I'm going to end on what the people want to hear. And that is there was a quote by Romario. Romario is a Brazilian legend, and the Brazilian legend said that he's better than Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, Luis Suarez, Rivaldo, Roberto, Zico, and Neymar. Okay. But okay, so that's a healthy list of players that he feels he is better. Okay, that's okay. It's okay. But let me bring this down. But he did say that Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, R9, Messi, and Cristiano Ronaldo are all on the same level as him. But he then says, this is him being humble. He then went on to say that only Diego Maradona and Pele were better than him.
Oh, damn.
Bloody hell, he's setting the bar a bit high there, isn't he?
I know. I heard that. I was
he was a good player, but you weren't that.
I was like,
know, not my friend.
Wow. That is wild. I heard him say that.
Stack ladders, one on top of the other to get up and touch that bar. It's so high.
I know. Yeah. Hey, don't get it twisted. Romario was an incredible talent. He was a legend. He's a Brazilian legend. You know,
he is
World Cup winner, and like part of that golden era of the resurgence of that golden era of Brazilian football. But yeah, he was like he threw a lot of people under his wing on that one. That was interesting.
Is he Jacob Murphy?
He was a phenomenal player. He was a phenomenal player. I don't know about Jacob Murphy. Yeah, I don't know about that. What about Jacob Murphy? Brian says Romario was breaking records in Brazil when he was 39. He was a phenomenal player. He was. I'm not disputing that at all. But to say that, I don't know if he's like, I don't know if I would say Romario is the only two players ever are Maradona and Pele that are better than Romario. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
It's high himself, but no.
Even if I was, I mean, it's all preference, and this is his preference.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. But I would have said R9. I would have said R9 is better than Romario.
Yeah, of course. Like for me, as four here, we can all agree that's not
or even
true.
Messi.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's for all football heads, and we can all say there and then that's not true. So that's just his sort of opinion, and it's not right.
Yeah,
it's not right.
Yeah, it's like because you know why? Because sometimes they'll do those things. They'll do those. That little. It's not an app, but it's like the little segment where they'll be like, they'll ask a person. They'll be like, "Who do you think?" Like say the name of the person that.
Yeah, this player.
Better.
Yeah. Better in it, yeah. Keep quiet until you're a better player. Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
So, but it's just like Brian's saying, you got to love the confidence, and you know, Brazilian players are very seldom without confidence in themselves. I do have some news. Hopefully, Norm is with us. This is a quote from Victor Osimhen. I wanted to make sure that this quote got read out, it was a very interesting story. He quoted, and this is the quote, and he said, Victor said, "I used to send money to one of my childhood friends, but one day he told me about a business he wants to start and needed financial support. I sent him 5,000 euros, but he didn't appreciate it, and even told me he reads on news that I earned 1 million euros every week, and he was expecting like 50,000 euros to start up the business or this business. I was so mad that I wanted to reverse the transaction, but I couldn't. That money, 5,000K, can only buy a pair of shoes in Europe, but in Nigeria, it's a lot of money. Nobody sent me $1 before I came to Europe. I hustled day and night. I sold bottled water on the street. People should learn to appreciate whatever they get as gifts, not have this sense of entitlement.
100%.
From that, I would just like to say, what did you do with the money, K-Mac? If that's the case. We only kid. I was just wondering what K-Mac did with the 5K.
Just to follow in that, Tov, I have another quote I've seen as well from Osherman, and he said, no one like this. Let me just get the quote. I'm just going to read it, and it reads, on this date, Wednesday, the 14th of January, I will officially sign for Liverpool next week for £50.1 million, thanks to K-Mac. I will be signing Victor Osherman.
We're playing with you, K-Mac. We're just playing with you. We're poking some fun. K-Mac. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, that's all I had for the Twitter troll or the trolling of Twitter here.
The beginning of this summer was a bit wild though, when we needed a striker and like we haven't bought anyone yet before we bought Akatika and Isak. Like all sorts of names were getting thrown in, and lots of people were very, very certain of what was going to happen. It didn't happen. It's a mad one, isn't it?
It is, and it's weirdly because if Newcastle were first and quite basic, if Newcastle would have accepted it, then I don't think we get Ekitike. I don't think we buy Ekitike. We would have got someone else. We definitely would have got someone else.
True, Nolante. So it's a blessing in disguise, you know.
Yeah. Things happen for a reason.
Yeah. I think if we just got Isaac in at the start, we weren't going to get Ekitike.
We would have got someone else.
You know what? We lost a lot of strikers and stuff. Attack wise, we lost a lot of players. So maybe
this summer,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, this summer before we bought anyone, I remember we were all talking, and there was a list of who we could have as strikers, and Ekitike was on it, but he wasn't at the top of my list. Like, you know, I thought he's a good player, but
it wasn't in my league.
Now I'm really pleased because, like, I think his start's been excellent. Like, and you can see he's got it. He's got that little bit of savoir-faire. He's got a bit of style about him, like, and that flick for Vert's goal was the moment of the match, wasn't it? That was gorgeous.
He's actually got. Oh, go on, Andy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, JK. I was just gonna say before you. Sorry, JK. Actually, no, JK. Sorry, you had something to say. I'll say it afterwards.
I just wanted to say quickly that he's actually surprised me, Ekitike, in the way he's got his team playing him. He ain't ball really. Strikers sometimes keep hold of the ball too much. He don't want to do that. He wants to do that in train 1-2s, and he's that type of guy, bro. And I really like that in him. So I'm really impressed in his team ethic in him.
Yeah, he's the type that gets bums off seats, as the old expression used to go.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just said I just think with Hugo. Before we got him, like JK and Lee said, well, I thought he was a risk. Like I said it at the start of the summer, like Isak, Alvarez, but Hugo is a risk. He's either going to be good, or he's going to be bad. And so far, but he's still a lot of improvements he needs to be in his game. I can see sometimes he does too much with the ball dribbling wise. He needs to learn just to lay it off quickly. Not every time is a dribble, but again. It's the Premiership. He's getting used to his young, but he's got a bit of the Benzema about him, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a little bit of a Benzema thing and a little bit of an Henry. I'm not saying he's as good as those players, but I'm talking stylistically. in a stylistically kind of way. But yeah, look, he can only improve. There's a lot of ways, there's things he needs to improve. But yeah, so far, yeah, he's done all right. He's done all right.
We desperately need his continued fitness for the rest of the season with Isak out. So just hope everything goes well from that point of view, because we missed him in the last couple of games. He's not been around. Like,
Yeah.
we need him to come off the bench and finally kill that game, like him and Wirtz. But made up he's back anyway.
But it's good to see them two like sort of come on, get the business game wrapped up like subs are meant to do, and they both got a goal and an assist for each other. First time I've heard where two subs have come on and they got a goal and an assist for each other. Something like that. I think that's the first time.
Oh yeah, no, that was the first time that
a pair of subs
have a pair of subs have given the goal, gotten a goal and assist from each other in the combo.
Lovely little stat that. I love that one.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I was thinking that's a nice one.
Yeah, you probably heard it here. We said it yesterday, so so it's a good place to hear. But better Benzema than Benteke. Yeah.
Have you got any news on Isaac? Anything regarding his injury thing? What's happening?
No new updates on Isak that I've read or saw. Primarily, the only updates. I'm trying to think if there's any updates of players that would be returning. I'm looking to see. I don't think of any. I can't see any that are on my list here.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of that kind of season for us right now. This was apparently this is some think this might be Arsenal at the end of the season, but I just think it's Manchester United for me. This is what I see Manchester United being.
Oh, damn. Oh.
I wasn't expecting that.
Out of everything.
I know.
No, I thought something was going to happen.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
Whoa.
Wow.
Made his face into the railings then. Bang.
He must be. I don't even want to see his face. Oh, flipping it.
Whoa.
That's going to be Carrick.
Yep.
Welcome.
That's the way it is. Oh, you guys, can you hear me? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Imagine he was on a higher floor, bro.
To the side.
He was like 12 feet, 12th floor, doing them sort of shenanigans, and that happens. Whoa.
Oh, that's his own fault. Because
I have to say that was a very shoddily made balcony. However heavy that man was, for it to fall through,
he's a big lad. You can say that, but
he's like a bowling ball. Flipping hell, mate. He can put him in cotton, mate. Yeah, mate. I tell you what. Yeah, if you got how much he weighs, didn't he?
Yeah, like he had to think about it. Like, you know,
he could sue the people who built the building.
Probably so.
I'm telling you, he's getting paid. He's gonna get a facelift.
Hey.
Like he's gonna get Botox, the whole shenanigans. He's gonna be eyes.
They could see him for bouncing like a big baby with his bowling ball weight.
Like you can imagine him doing a TV show. I've fallen off the balcony, but
you be framed.
Like my last change and all that.
He was okay.
Yeah.
He was okay.
Oh, that's good. But
He's still
He's paracetamol. Carried
he
on.
didn't pass or something. Yeah, he was okay. Embarrassed, but definitely okay.
Lampard was harshly labelled a fatty. I mean, he had a little bit of meat on compared to some other players, but
no. Yeah, that's weirdly. I mean, he's slim compared to Ruddock. He's slim.
No,
compared to Ruddock. I mean, geez, fat.
I think it was just a spiteful one, not for people who just
So, is there anything you guys want to talk about before we wrap up here? Because we're past the 2-hour mark here. There's a good number of people in the chat. We hit 80. We're at 67. We're at 70 just a couple minutes ago. Some people didn't like Vasily.
Well, we need to make some movements in the window, don't we, to excite us all. I mean, everyone loves a good signing, and we're desperately in need of one. So hopefully it'll happen before January ends.
Yeah. Is that your biggest concern? Is getting something done in the January window? That's your biggest concern?
It's a little bit suicidal to try and go until the end of May with the 3 that we've got. We're open joke and stay fit, but if he doesn't, you've got to plan for that. Endo back, yeah. I mean, I don't want to see
Endo is back. Endo is back.
Yeah, I'm sure
he should go straight into the team. So that's what he should do, but he won't. So
I'm just hoping that the scouting team have identified someone and we've got nothing to worry about. I know we've heard noises that it isn't going to happen and we're not going to do anything, but for me, it'd be a little bit ludicrous if we didn't and tried to go till May with just Virgil, Ibu and Joe.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't worry.
In the summer and we already had 4 fit centre-backs then. So that tells you we thought we needed 5. Now we're down to 3. It's not enough.
Yeah. They called him fat lamppost. Yeah. I thought it was
the goal he scored in South Africa in the World Cup. Who was that against? Was it against Germany or something? It went over the line. It hit the bar and it went down over the line, but we didn't get it. Lampard, England in the South Africa World Cup. Great shot, slammed the bar down, well over the line, bounced back out, didn't get it.
Yeah, that was Germany.
Germany, it would be Germany, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That's when you needed the VAR.
You do it, yeah.
Could have used it. All right, my people. We are going to be out and joining you tomorrow. That's where we'll leave it. Look, 2 great players played today. 2 great Liverpool legends played together for their international teams, Mane and Salah. I get that people are going to make a big thing about Salah's performance in the game. I saw his statistics: 0 goals, 0 chances created, 0 successful take-ons, shots, 0 shots on target, 0 accurate crosses. But I will say this, Salah, you are still one of Egypt's greatest players and certainly and continue to be a living legend. So unfortunately I know it's a certain disappointment in your career, but I would just happen to say that there's always tomorrow, and there's always definitely something that you could possibly win with Liverpool. Bring back some of that angst and anger and go win yourself another Champions League, or put it together and be the difference in the FA Cup run for us. It will mean something, and I'm looking forward to your return to the team. So, is there anything you guys wanted to say though before we end the segment here?
Thanks for the chat as always. Nice one, lads.
Okay. Lee, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, just cheers everyone. Thanks everyone in the chat. Thanks for your contributions for being here. We'll see you again.
Okay. I do want. Oh wow! I wish I had that. There was one other thing I wanted to include in the chat today, but maybe we can save it for tomorrow. It was a very interesting quote, by someone that I know some people don't rate, some people don't like. Don't care for his comments, don't care for his politics or for his approach to journalism. But it was a quote by Piers Morgan. I'll have to get it for you. But it was about Manchester United. It was a very interesting quote. I'll bring it up tomorrow. I'll save you with that little teaser. But Nolante, do you want to say anything to the people before we bounce?
Look, it's been a long day. Questions been asked. I mean, the Barnsley fallout's been done, etc. I just want to ask the Irishman, what happened to your two boys, Barcola and Walton, having stinkers against lower league teams?
Oh, wow. Wow.
Eh? I mean,
Brian
bro,
catching strays
I
at
want
the end of the
answers. I want answers. Your boys
show.
Walton and Barcola
Catching
having
strays at the end of the
stinkers,
show.
having stinkers, buddy. What's
He
going on,
did.
mate?
I'll give him credit. He was very I think he was very bullish on Ekitike coming to Liverpool. So I'll give him credit for that too.
Okay. Well, fair play. I'll give him that. I can't remember, but if he did, then I'll give him. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't sure, so I said it could be. It was still a risk, but fair play.
No, I'm liking Frimpong at right back at the moment. Like, I think it's working well. I like him on the right wing, but I think the best position for him will be full back, getting down the outside, like from that full back position with his pace.
Are you regretting not going for Semenyo?
I'm not bothered. I didn't think we needed a forward this window at all. Like, and I still don't. When we get it, I mean, obviously he's been injured and Salah's gone to AFCON. But when Salah comes back, we're all right. Or we should be all right. It was obviously centre back, isn't it? And possibly a midfielder is the one most of us are hoping for, isn't it? Well, in terms of like the immediate future.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can have Brian on the show sometime soon. So, negative Nalante or positive Nalante can have a thorough and proper debate on some of the hits and misses. We will leave it there. We'll leave it there. Not trying to stir anything up. Look, I wanted to definitely say January it's always going to be a loud moment for us as Liverpool fans, simply because we've made some real great acquisitions in the past. It's always full of noise. So with these transfers, but what matters for Liverpool isn't the noise. It's the direction this club is going to take. The squad is strong in the sense of the constitution and the foundation of the team is strong. This manager is trying to build something. What it is, we're still trying to find out, but the margins right now matter more than ever. So whether Liverpool move on someone in the January window of note or not, the real test is clarity, I think, for this team, about who this team is, the identity that we're all trying to search for with this club. I'd like to thank each and every one of you out there who's watching, listening, debating, carrying on with us, having a laugh. This community is what makes this show matter and what makes this show work. And I appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're on X or whether you're on YouTube. I do appreciate you. Definitely on X. Come on over to YouTube sometimes. I see our numbers are always substantially larger on X for some reason. But I ask for you to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow Reds out there. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And I'd say finally, but most importantly, up the Reds. Up the Reds. We will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.